Welcome to the Mother Daughter-ish podcast. It's your mama's favorite podcast.
And the podcast your daughter always wanted.
This is Miss Dawn.
And Angelique.
From the 713. Houston, y'all. Get connected and stay connected weekly as new shows debut on Sunday, Wednesday, and please check out our Saturday Out and About showcases.
Enjoy the show. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, and tell every woman on the planet that you know about our show.
Here's our show for today. Hey, mothers and daughters, happy leap year day. I wanted to just come on and just say happy leap year day. And I hope that you did something fun. I did something really fun. It's just so funny how several months ago I was planning what I was going to do. And at first I said I was going to do a train trip. And then the next thing I said, okay, well, I'm going to go into the Alpine coaster and do the roller coasters, where I ended up packing up and just staying a week in Mexico. And then after I left Mexico, I just decided that I was going to fly on that day. And that was something I'd never done. I decided I was going to ride a bus in Mexico. That's something I've never done. That I decided to let someone show me around an old part of Cancun that I've never been to, because I'm becoming kind of a little expert, be coming back and forth. But I just wanted to give you a few little things, and then I'm going to let you kind of go. But I wanted to just talk to you about leap year, and a lot of people don't even understand leap year. Now, this is strictly coming from text. This is not coming from anything that I will put 100% of value in, simply because if you read the Ethiopian calendar or any other calendars, there were really 13 months of the year. And if you look at the way a woman body works, and every 28 days there's something that happens there. So if you start thinking about it, you start to say, well, what year are we really in? I know that they say we're in 2024, but it makes me wonder, because things have been manipulated with the numbers, that if things are either not more advanced or not as advanced at all. Because when you start to put things, of course, in the hands of regular people, things like that happen. Now, the Earth takes about 365.25 days to complete its orbit around the sun. Now, again, this is coming straight from text. This is in knowledge. This is not coming from my own belief or anything. I'm just sharing with you the importance of leap year, because I was speaking to someone and they were like, well, what do you mean? What's leap year? And when is that coming? And why is it coming? And how we get an extra day? And no, February is only 28. There can't be 20. And I had to actually just kind of explain it to them, and then pull up on Google and show them when all the next leap year dates are coming, all the way through like 2030s and 40s or whatever. I was just saying, okay, every 4 years, I had to just say it like that. Every 4 years we get an extra day in February, which is going to always be on February 29th. I can tell you something so funny. Like about 5 years ago, before the other leap year came, I had sent out this message on Facebook. It could have been more than 5 years ago, because I was on Facebook and I'm not even over there like that. But I sent out this message saying, hey, I needed somebody to travel with me, and we're going to be gone specifically on February the 29th. If anybody can go, your hotel, your flight, you're going to get a $5,000 stipend to go with me. I just, didn't want to travel by myself. When I tell you, my DMs were flooded, not just with women, but with men. It was so funny. And then I didn't say anything. And then I started getting DMs back to back. Wait a minute. What February 29th? There's no, they were so confused. I never responded. And then one of them got really smart and said, okay, you got me. But like I was telling you about the Earth going around the sun, 365.25, it's basically to adjust for those days. So that's how we get a leap year every 4 years. And I like that it kind of comes in February, because we live, I live in Texas, and our weather is just beautiful usually in February. We don't get that cold freeze most of the time. Again, our weather is very strange, and it does what it wants to do, because we can start off in the morning in the winter, and then by noon we're in fall, and then by 4 or 5 o'clock we can be in the summer, and then we go right back to fall or winter at nighttime. So we have every season sometimes in one day. So I'm going to tell you, here are top 10 tips for leap year, just in case you're not really tapped into leap year. I'm one of those people that I get very excited when leap year comes around, because I'm always trying to figure out what can I do different on leap year day that I have never done before. So that's what I'm always trying to tap into, the what could I do that I just haven't done or haven't even considered. Like a friend of mine, she says that on leap year day, on the 29th, she's just going to pack a bag, a little weekend bag, since it's, on a Thursday. She's going to pack a weekend bag. I don't know about your friends, but my friends, our weekends are Thursday through Monday. She's going to pack a little weekend bag, and she was going to go to the airport. She was going to the first thing she was going to do, she was going to leave her car at the airport. She never does that. And I'm talking about at the airport, not at the airport shuttle thing, but actually under the concrete at the actual airport, the one that's like $35 a day almost. And she was going to go in, and she was going to have them to pull up a flight between whatever price and whatever price. And then she was going to buy that one, but it had to be to somewhere that she has never been before. And then she will book her hotel while she's waiting on that flight to board her. She will go on her Bonvoy app and then just book a hotel from there. When I tell you I was so happy and proud for her, because that is so not her MO. She don't, she's like me. Everything got to be planned out a year ahead. So that was kind of funny. So let's talk about just understanding the concept of leap year and knowing that leap year is very, very crucial. It helps us, like I said, with coordinating the times that line up when the sun is orbiting the earth. It's really all about time keeping. I know you have these people who say time is just a social construct and all of that. Okay, well, guess what? We're in this world. That's what it is, okay? And so that's the importance of a human history that we have to keep track of some kind of way. So I know people don't like to talk about time, and they don't like to go with the time method and all of that, but that's just the world that we live in, is that we have times. And I can admit to you, when I'm on vacation, time really doesn't exist, because I'm in my own little world. And I can tell you, I will be in a hotel room, and if I'm busy all day, the time went by, it seemed like in 2 hours. But if I am just kind of in the room minding my business, the time just goes by so effortlessly that I have to convince myself to go ahead and go to bed, because you do actually need a little bit of sleep. And then I start telling myself, you need to calm your nerves down. You need to just chill out or whatever. You don't have to be up at a certain time tomorrow, so you're good. So remembering the pattern is also very important, because again, it's only every 4 years. So leap year occurs every 4 years. However, there are some exceptions. Now, there's some exceptions to the rule, because years are divisible by 100. They're not the ones that are divisible by 100. There's no leap year. So there's going to be a time when you think there's supposed to be a leap year and there's not going to be one. So again, it's a timekeeping thing. For example, in 1900, there was not a leap year, but in 2000 there was. Okay, so sometimes it works out the way it's supposed to, and sometimes it doesn't. I think you have to kind of almost be a mathematician or a whiz to even know the back end of the back end. I'm only giving you the front surface part and just trying to get you excited about maybe planning something every 4 years that's different. I have a friend who said she was going to be going to Italy, and while she was there, it was going to be a leap year, and she was going to do a hot air balloon drive. I was like, I like that idea. So I say also enjoy the extra day. If you want to get real technical about it on that day, since it does not exist in the next 3 years, take that day off of work and go somewhere and just, again, pretend like that day never happened. Eyes wide shut. And I don't mean that movie, because you know what that movie was about, but I'm just saying, like, do something that you can do and put in the back of your head, and you don't even have to remember it, because, you went on the hot air balloon, and you can say, I marked that off of my list. But if you want to do it again, you can say, well, but I did it on a year that it didn't count, because that day doesn't exist for another 4 years. Now, there's only one group of people that I just do not like and feel bad that this is their birthday year. And that is those folks who are born on the 29th, because actually, I don't think they really should be celebrating their birthdays. If they celebrate, they don't have to. But I don't even think, if it was me, I wouldn't even celebrate my birthday but every 4 years, just for the record-keeping logistics part of it. But February 29th comes once every 4 years. So you can make it something special for you. And especially if it's a birthday situation, you could really do a blast on that. And anybody who does not support you in that, who's supposed to be close to you or your family or whatever, shame on them, because you're only doing it once a year, whereas you may be celebrating with them every year. You know, some people celebrate and use it as a bonus. Like me, I use it as a bonus celebration to just do something out of the ordinary. That's just, there's no time on this planet that I would ever say, hey, I'm just going to go by myself to Mexico and get on a bus by myself. That's never been a conversation or a thought. But because of all the low impact, low risk, it made sense for me to do it. So just make sure you check your calendars and schedules and things, because if you try to schedule something on that day in advance and then other people are not thinking about it and they've decided to use it as a bonus day to not be open, you know, as well. Just like I was telling you on the last show about during the eclipse, schools and colleges and all that is closed. Well, during leap year, there could be some businesses that say, hey, this day doesn't exist on 3 years of our time, so our company is going to be closed. So just keep that in mind, I'm saying, when you're planning out your events and when you're scheduling. So let's just say you have a big event coming up and you're doing this big event for people to come out for business or whatever, leisure. But then people have in their mind that they want to do something really special on their own without having to have an appointment anywhere. That could affect your event. So always remember and consider leap year as one of those years that could be a day that you don't want to schedule thing that involves other people, especially somebody like me who's already got their next several leap years already planned out. I know some of the things that I'm going to do. So I wouldn't be a good candidate to come to your event because I'm already kind of living my own life on my own, schedule. Some digital calendars automatically adjust, but it's wise to double check because, for example, I have 2 cars that don't update the time when the regular time changes. I have to manually update the time in both of my cars. One of them is a 2016. So you would think by 2016 that the digital clock in there would update. The digital one does update, but there's 2 clocks in there. There's also a manual one, and it does not update. So there's been times in my other car, though, that I've gotten in the car and been driving it for a year and didn't realize that the time did not update just simply because I wasn't using the time at that moment anyway. So as far as the historical significance of it, leap year does have a historical and cultural significance. And it's been used as a marker for various traditions, like, the Mayans and other people. Religious observances. There's some religious activities. And when I saw that, I went and actually Googled the 29th and religious activities. Oh my gosh. It was just so many places. And it also has a lot of historical events that people will be having during that time or celebrating, or observances for it, celebrations for it, honoring those things. So just keep in mind when you are doing anything, always consider that other people just might have their own life of things that they do on a regular basis, and they are not interested in joining in on what your thing is because they already have their own thing. Now also think about what I was saying earlier about the people who have those those birthdays on the 29th of February every 4 years. They actually call those folks leaplings or leapers. I think it's also a very kind of awesome tagline. And if it was me and I'm a little extra, that leap year, baby, I would wear Kelly green all that day, because think about it, leap year, leapfrog, and leapfrog, whole thing is green. I would do something that has to do with taking a big leap, and then I would promote it and talk all about it and everything. If that was my birthday, trust me, I would be the poster child for a leap year birthday person. And I would get together and start a whole organization. I'm talking crazy right now, but I'm serious. I would have so if anybody is listening to this and your birthday is on the 29th, start a whole association for only people who are born during leap year. Y'all get together and have your own festival, okay? And celebrate your birthdays every 4 years for those who are looking to tap in to know who all of those individuals are. I'm telling you, it would be huge to do something like that. Do it in Vegas or somewhere like that where you can have a huge presence. Everybody wear green. Everybody show up during that day and just have a blast. If you want to play it safe and do a Zoom call with them, but that's something you'd have to plan at least a year in advance so you can just get all those people to celebrate with you. Now, there's other ways that you can find out everybody on the planet that was born on the 29th of February, and that's, you could do a simple open records request and maybe find that information. So I'm just giving you some tidbits right here. But also some of them will then celebrate on February 28th or March 1st when it's not a leap year, which I just find that to be a little lackluster, and if it were me, I'd be a little upset about that. Financial and legal adjustments. Leap year can also affect your financial and your legal matters, especially if it's based on the annual calculations that you have to do for your business or your professional. So leap year does matter when it comes to how does it affect you and people like you, okay? Back to those birthday people. I'm telling you, I would have a whole association of every person born on the 29th, and then I would try to include celebrities as well. I would have an association that would be strong, and we would have so many things that we would be doing and working on. It would be awesome. Leap year superstitions. Some cultures attach superstitions to their beliefs for leap year, considering them lucky or unlucky. So, when you talk about superstitions, it could be either a lucky thing or unlucky thing, but exploring them can be interesting from a cultural perspective. Now, I should not have, but I looked up what some of the superstitions were. I won't talk about them here, but do yourself a little favor and just go to Mr. Google and just type in what are some leap year superstitions, and it's just very interesting. It's an interesting read. Maybe I'll do, at the end, if we have time, I'll do a couple of them. I'll tell you a couple of them. Some educational opportunities. Leap years offer an excellent opportunity for you to learn about astronomy. I learned a little bit. It gives you a little time to learn about different calendars from different cultures. Like I told you, some cultures had 13-month calendars, and I've found several of them. One of them was in a 1700 Bible or 700 Bible, a Bible a long time ago by the Egyptians that had a 13 calendar cycle. I've been looking at it. I don't understand anything about it, but I just find it interesting because, of course, the months are changed, the names and all of that is all changed on it. And then when somebody explained to me what our months meant, it just made sense why everything was changed. Now, if you do this little research, it will provide some insight into certain humans that have measured and organized time throughout the history and why they've done it. Like, for example, whenever I hear people talking about how the Mayan calendar ended in 2012 and all of that, everybody was all nervous like it was Y2K all over again. It's kind of crazy. So the last thing I'm going to say before I leave you here is to just make sure you plan ahead on everything. And for those born on the 29th or involved in any kind of activities of importance for leap year, just plan ahead. Like in the next leap year, I know what I'm doing for 2028. I know what I'm doing for the next 4, and then I think I sat and wrote out like the next 6 years, some things that I could consider doing that would be different. Would not be something that I would just do right now, but it would be different and good to do it at that point. And it'll just ensure a smoother transition for you to be able to celebrate it. So just understand that leap year really does enrich your understanding. Really anything that you don't know a lot about can enrich your understanding once you get to know, because it becomes interesting from that standpoint, especially if you are a leaper or a leapling, you were born on the 29th. That would be really good. Now, I did say that if we had some time at the end, I would go to Google for you just real quick. So I'm just typing in Google, what are some leap year superstitions? Okay, so when I typed in just on a whim, what are some leap year superstitions, is that couples who feel like if they get married on the 29th that it could either work out or it couldn't work out, but they feel like that's a superstition type of thing, and that maybe you probably don't want to get married on the 29th, but it's kind of like being born on the 29th. If you do it, you just deal with it however you're going to deal with it. So another superstition is that a bad omen is going to come on leap year marriages, and that's like written, again, Google it for yourself and just see what it really means. And then also when you Google, just Google all the different years that leap year is coming up, because I did pull all of those up as well. So that's my show today on leap year. So happy leap year, and for those that are leaplings and leapers, happy birthday on leap year 2024. Hey, we'll talk about this again in 2028. Bye.